Hi, you guys. Welcome to Crime and Theories. As you know, I've been talking a lot about the Idaho murder case, and today I want to talk about a case that you probably know well. This is the case of Cassie Jo Stoddart. She was a beautiful 16-year-old from Pocatello, Idaho, and she had the same brutal crime as the Idaho 4 murders. So I want to talk a little bit about her story today.
September 22nd, 2006. We're skipping our fourth hour. We're writing our plan right now. I'm telling Cassie's family, but she had to be number one. We have to stick with the plan. She's perfect, so she's gonna die.
On September 22nd, 2006, around 5:30 p.m., Anna, who is Cassie's mom, dropped off Cassie and her boyfriend, Matt, to animal sit, house sit for her uncle and aunt over the weekend while they were away on vacation. Later that night, Anna had said that she could not resist the urge to call and check up on Cassie, so she picked up the phone around 9:30, 10 p.m. and spoke with Cassie, who said all was fine and they were watching a movie. But little did she know that that would be the last time that she would talk with her daughter. Matt invited over two friends at 8:20 p.m., Torey Adamcik and Brian Draper, who hung out, watched movies with them, but little did they know that they would become Cassie's savage killers hours later. Torey and Brian left Cassie's relative's house around 9:30 p.m. to go watch a movie at a movie theater, but Brian had secretly unlocked the basement door so he and Torey could sneak back in to carry out their fame-making copycat crime, Scream.
Hell, you restrict somebody from it, they're gonna want it more.
Found our victim, and sad as it may be, she's our friend. But you know what? We all have to make sacrifices. Our first victim is going to be Cassie Stoddart. She's going to be alone in a big, dark house out in the middle of nowhere. How perfect can you get? I mean, like, holy shit, dude.
I'm horny just thinking about it.
Hell yeah.
When they returned later that evening, the boys parked down the street, got dressed in dark clothing, put on gloves, put on painted masks, and before they started, they made a video around 9:50, getting ready to execute their plan.
9:50, September 22nd, 2006. We know there's lots of doors. There's lots of places to hide. I locked the back doors, so it's all locked. Now we just gotta wait.
They crept back into the home through the unlocked doors. Cassie and her boyfriend watched TV upstairs and proceeded to weave hours of terror for the young couple. They made loud noises in the basement. They tried to lure them downstairs by making loud noises and turning off the lights. Once the family dog started growling, the couple was too afraid to go check it out. So ultimately, they tracked down the circuit breaker and cut all power to the house. As you can imagine, Cassie was pretty freaked out over this, and Matt called his mom to ask if he can spend the night with her to soothe her nerves. His mom said no, but she did offer to let Cassie come over and stay the night. But being the responsible kid that Cassie was said to be, she decided to stay back and watch over the home and the dogs. So around 11:15 p.m., Matt's mom came to pick him up, and regardless of him wanting to stay, that is unfortunately when the two teenagers jumped out to scare Cassie, and they stabbed her fatally 30 times.
Wait. I just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a fucking joke.
I'm shaking.
I stabbed her in the throat, and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. Oh, fuck. That felt like fucking real. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the fuck up, we gotta get our act straight.
Okay.
When taking Cassie's boyfriend Matt in for questioning, he passed the lie detector test and mentioned his two friends Brian and Torey stopped by that night. It was relatively apparent to investigators that Torey and Brian were the last people to ever see Cassie alive. Torey was brought in for questioning the same time that Cassie's body was discovered, and he spun a tale that him and Brian had arrived at the house for a party but left when things never kicked into action. He said that instead, him and Brian went to see a movie before crashing at his house. However, Torey couldn't recall any details about the movie that they had allegedly seen just 2 nights prior, and a fellow student who worked there verified never ever seeing the boys. So shortly after this, Brian was interrogated. He claimed that he had been in the room when Torey killed Cassie, but denied taking any part in the stabbing. He changed his story to admit that he did end up stabbing her, but only under the orders from Torey. He guided the authorities to evidence that they stashed in the Black Rock Canyon area, which included 4 knives, a mask, latex gloves, and all the videotapes that not only contained the footage of the boys planning it, but the reactions of her death. Brian was guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder on April 17, 2007. Torey also was convicted of the same charges on June 8, 2007. They both got life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus 30 years to life. So I really just wanted to talk about this Idaho case today. I found it really interesting that law enforcement also really thought that there was just this madman running around their town. You know, there was no break-in, no robbery. They couldn't find a clear motive of who could do something like this. So you never really know who you are dealing with or what people are capable of. So with that said, I'm going to leave off on a statement that I really like. It is, the first clue in a crime is usually found in the last day of the victim.